Hello everyone, my name is BlackWatch and welcome to another episode of How to Play. In this episode we're going to be taking a look at Lesion, and he is also known as Lesion. Difficult name to pronounce anyway. He is a defender who caught my eye very quickly. I think he's one of these guys that's likely to go underrated by most people, and he definitely doesn't deserve it because his gadget is very unique, it's very fun to play with, and it offers something to the defending team that they've never really had before in terms of intel that can damage. Let's have a look at how to play him. So, Lesion is a 2 armor, 2 speed operator on the defending side. He's a member of the Special Duties Unit, CTU, or STU, CTU, and has access to 2 primary weapons. Those are the 612 silenced shotgun, which is... it's a semi-automatic shotgun with a suppressor. It's never going to be a great gun, guys, and it's not a great gun, essentially. It's fine, it's a bit of fun. If you want to use a shotgun, then I suppose that's the only option you've got, but I wouldn't recommend it, because his Type 55 SMG, whilst not the absolute best thing in the world, is a pretty good SMG. It's a bit like Smoke's SMG, but I'd say a little bit stronger, so not a bad option by any means, and really the only viable competitive option for Lesion anyway. And his secondary is pretty strong as well. It deals a reasonable amount of damage for what it is, and it has good vertical recoil. So Lesion's gadget is the goo mine. This is a poisoned mine, strictly speaking a venom mine, but it's called a poisoned mine, that can be placed anywhere. It cloaks itself, or I say it can be placed anywhere, it can be placed on any floor, so it can't be placed on a wall or anything like that. And the idea is that there's a load of needles that stick up from the ground, and once an operator steps on it, it's triggered, and one of those needles is embedded inside the leg, or wherever. And so it cloaks completely. It's a lot like Echo's drone, but the difference between that and these needles is that they're almost entirely invisible, versus the drone. The drone has a bit of a weird sort of wavy effect, whereas this doesn't have it as much. This is more like a slightly more effective version of active camouflage from Halo. So he starts off with one of these mines, and it's every 30 seconds he gets an additional mine. And so all in all that adds up to you having a total of 7 mines in total. They're the maximum number that can be placed, and the maximum number that he will eventually come up to towards the end of the round. And it means that you have a close to unlimited supply of denial gadgets, because you can slap them down wherever you want a choke point covered, wherever you want a particular approach that you're maybe sitting feeling vulnerable about. You can put down a goo mine, so you know once it's been detonated, 1, you'll be told it's been detonated, 2, you can check on the map to see the icon, which is unique to his gadget. You can actually see exactly where it's been placed excuse me, from anywhere on the map. It shows a little icon, which is essentially the spike that you see in his op icon, and that can be seen from anywhere. And so all you need to do is look around at the different ones you've placed, keep an eye on where they were before, and basically by process of elimination decide which one has actually been destroyed. And that'll tell you exactly where that enemy was and where they set off the trigger. So it acts like a proximity alarm that also deals damage, that also discourages people to push, and deals damage over time. So once they've been hit with a needle, they take 10 damage, and then they continue to take 8 ticks of damage, essentially indefinitely. They can take it as much as they want until they want to take the needle out. But in order to do that, they go into an animation that forces them to be completely vulnerable. They have to basically bend over and pull something out of the line, which at the best of times isn't too easy to do, but when you're having to push into an objective and you're suddenly stuck with a nasty big needle in your leg, it makes it that little bit more difficult to pull off the push. So it's a pretty nasty gadget, and it's a very versatile gadget, and as a result he can be played as a roamer and he can be played as an anchor, but I would recommend him as an anchor because, much like Smoke, his gadget is very good at making pushes very difficult, because it also stops the enemy from sprinting. Once they've been hit by a needle, they cannot sprint again until they've taken the needle out. So there's just a lot of things that happen once you've been hit by that needle, because I know that 10 damage plus 8 on a tick doesn't seem too much, over time, you know, those 2-second ticks add up, and if you're not in a situation where you can safely remove that needle, it's going to be more than just a little pinprick. It's going to turn out to be a pretty nasty thing for you towards the end. So his weapons aren't the best, but it's made up for by the strength of his gadget. It can be used passively as a throw it down and hope for the best. It can be used actively if you know that someone's about to push a specific spot. You can actually cluster up your goo mines and force them to go through that spot, not being able to see the mine particularly well, and then forcing them to take a tick of damage of 10 per mine that they stand on. Just a quick point there, actually, they do not stack. So once one has been applied, you will take the additional 10 damage per mine that's stood on, but you don't take a faster rate of damage based on the number that you've stood on, and you also only ever have to remove one needle. Obviously you can set up some situations where you space out the mines, so someone would stand on one, pull out the needle, move forward, stand on another one, pull out the needle, but you can't always guarantee that. Some people will just run into them repeatedly and in sequence. So there's a lot of things that can happen with the gadget that are sometimes hard to predict. It has some interesting combinations with frostmite, or with what do you call it, welcome mats, but you have to be quite specific about the placement of those. You need to really stick it just ahead of where the enemy would fall, so that when they fall down, their leg slips forward and hits into the mine after they've been caught in the trap, otherwise it won't work. Like a lot of operators with gadgets like this, he is again weak when he's dead, because once he's gone, he's not going to have the gadget to use. He needs to be able to put them out, and because of the way that they work, recharging every 30 seconds, there's no guarantee that you're actually going to get the use out of him that you'd hope you would. He's also not quite as potent as Smoke, I believe, in terms of stopping pushes. Smokes is a big, scary, nasty thing, whereas with Lesion you can kind of run through and just tank the needle and hopefully kill them faster than they're going to be able to kill you, but it doesn't always happen. So a bit of general advice with him. I would say you should probably loose anchor it, so don't play it too tight to the objective, but don't be a complete roamer either. Don't be stingy with your mines. Put them out when you've got them, make the most of them. Use it as an early warning system for attackers who are approaching, and just let your team know when things are going to happen, because ultimately if you can do that, you can keep your team alive, and it's going to be worth it in the end, because they'll know where they're coming from, you'll know where they're coming from, and you can do whatever you want to them at that point. So that's pretty much all I can say at the moment for Lesion. I feel like he's an operator that could potentially deserve an advanced guide, because as I got into this I realised there's a few things I'm missing out, but they're more advanced techniques than they would be otherwise, so I think they should probably get sent into a different video, but that's something for another time. I just want to apologise that this video was up a little bit late, guys. I had some problems with my software, but I've managed to get it back up and running again now. I also want to apologise that you're looking at a black screen right now, because I actually ran out of footage. I had an extra piece of footage, but it was particularly boring. Probably still would have been more entertaining than looking at this, but I didn't realise until recording the voice that it would run over as much as it did. So hopefully this will be a decent video for you guys to watch. Again, I apologise that you're having to sit and listen to me with nothing on in the background just now. Maybe put a picture up of something interesting, but the likelihood is I'm probably not going to do that. I'll just put the thumbnail up or something like that. But guys, the next video is likely going to be Jackal, because I really like Jackal. He's one of my favourite attacking operators, and I've been having a lot of fun with him recently. If it's not Jackal, it'll be Montagna. I said that in the update video last night. But yeah, it's either going to be one of those two. Knowing my luck, it'll end up being someone completely different, because that's what seems to happen on this channel. But in any case, guys, I just wanted to say thanks a lot. I should have had some footage for this particular bit. I do feel quite bad now, but I wanted to address those of you who have jumped on the channel and would actually have the kind of dedication to sit and listen to me ramble for this amount of time. And basically just thank you. I've managed to surpass 100 subscribers, and I've been on YouTube since 2009. A lot of my content was just old things like taking the piss. I would make some stuff on Movie Maker, which funnily enough is the editing software I still use for compiling everything together. I don't have the money for a capture card, I don't have the money for a proper recording service or whatever, so I end up using the Xbox's inbuilt game DVR to edit all these videos, which is why I have so much trouble with it, because it's a temperamental son of a bitch. But it gets the job done. And I just never would have envisioned me sitting here with more than like 30 people watching my videos. I used to upload vids, and the chances of them breaking 20 views was pretty slow or pretty low. So it's kind of amazing that I imagine to upload videos on a weekly basis and almost guaranteeing that I'm getting over 200 people watching them each week. It's pretty amazing, and the fact that people are actually coming on, commenting and saying that they're enjoying the content and that they think it's helpful or whatever, it's something I never would have expected, and it's something that I'm quite humbled by, and I appreciate all the feedback I get. Um, as far as I know, I've responded to pretty much every comment that's been left on the videos, apart from a select few. One that I saw recently, which was a bit strange. Not sure whether to appreciate what he said or not, but regardless, I left it alone. I'm gonna let him think about that one himself, I think. But yeah, guys, I really do appreciate it. I managed to break those 100 subscribers, which I never thought would happen. It's a bit of a personal goal that I've had for a long time, and I feel like I've finally found a niche of content that I just didn't have before. It is something that I enjoy doing, something that, obviously, from what people are saying, seems to be helping people, and that's all I could really ask for. So, thanks again. I hope you enjoy watching all these videos. I hope you enjoy watching them in the future, and I just hope you enjoy your time on the channel. Thanks for supporting, guys. Thanks for watching the video again. If you made it this far, good lad. I'll catch you in the next one. Do svidania. Bye bye.